Welcome back to Gordon, folks. 18 minutes on the clock and team switch sides. Getting ready to go for the second period of action. Julian Menez is 15th and 16th of the year. 1 on a 5-on-3, up 2, 1 down to a short-handed goal as St. Paul's up 2-0 over Holderness on senior day here at the Matthews Center. Referees don't like that draw, so we'll do this one again. Someone in the dot cheated. It was either Kevin Pitts or Ty Green. Holderness 0 for 2 on the power play. St. Paul's 1 for 2. Their goal up a man was the first of the game. And it was on a 2-minute 5-on-3. They could not repeat the power play goal after that one, though, of course. It bounces up the boards here for Ty Green. We're underway in the second period after that bit of a tangent. And coming around the face-off circle is Sackler with a zipper right side for Dumas. The rebound came out for Orrin as well. And he just couldn't get a stick on it. St. Paul's in the ozone. It's McElhinney through traffic now. And kicking that away was Andralowitz. Holderness looking to work up the other way. There's a penalty upcoming to St. Paul's. As Andralowitz goes to the bench, he gets knocked down. So the penalty entourage continues here, and John Sackler's going to take an offensive zone minor. I'm not sure what the call is. Well, being shorthanded last time didn't really hurt St. Paul's. I mean, Holderness' power play has been good, but the penalty kill for the Big Rand has been good as well. Interesting. I didn't catch the call from Sackler. He's in conversation with his head coach right now as it's right off the draw. Sent the length of the ice by Jenny McElhinney. Good, clean draw win. I think that was maybe Simpson in the circle or Stadheim. Speaking of Stadheim, he's forced a turnover here and is working in a 1-on-2 in the left corner. He lost the puck though, but it's out to center now. Oh! Slammed into the boards is Isaiah Fox, and he got him up high. Teddy McElhinney caught Fox near the head. No penalty on the play. We've seen a couple of high hits in this one. Dumas laid one that was called, and I didn't think was too bad, but Harrison Sweet was on the receiving end of one as well along this left side half wall. No penalty was called on that. No penalty there against McElhinney as this one comes through traffic. The rebound's there, and making a great stop is Barron, and cleaning up the third rebound, the double rebound, I guess, is Eric Simpson on the left post to send it down. Great stop by Andy Barron in traffic. He hasn't to make too many grade A saves. Both of them, I think, his two best are both on Isaiah Fox, as was that one. Now, a load and a fire here. Fox standing right in front of Barron again. He was in the crease and knocked him down. And Fox is now jousting with Harrison Sweet at the bottom of the circles in the middle of the ice. Sweet must have stood up for his goaltender there in some way. That probably should have been goalie interference. Working in here is Kevin Pitts. He's going to go on a route. Manning's in front of the net. He tried to move it to him, but Sweet blocked that out of the grade A area, shall we say. There's Manning. He handed it off for Fox. 30 seconds left to go in the penalty to Sacklad. Left side, Rose faked the shot. It moved towards the middle. Fox couldn't get a stick on it. Getting a stick on it instead is Flinton. Sorry. I thought that might have been Harrison Sweet for a moment. That's going to do it. It looks like for the Holderness power play. 10 seconds left to go. And here comes Gagnon. Crossing over the St. Paul's logo at center and into the offensive zone. He'll drop it back for Pitts. Pitts, right side, McNamney. Backdoor pass. And getting his stick in the lane where was Dumas. Sneaking in for the left side was Gagnon. Gagnon was out there for the full 2 minutes. Look at this now. Halliday fires one cross ice for Flinton, but he missed him on the pass. He tried to saucer across the offensive zone as St. Paul's could have been in 2-on-1. Menez can't hold the line. It's loose on the red now. Menez fishing in here on the forecheck. He's going to pick it up along the goal line. Trying to work it in front. By the way, Menez has 2 hat tricks so far this season. A lot of moments centered in front here for Orrin. He was torn down in the middle of the ice before he could get a stick on it. I don't think he was going to get a stick on it anyways. He was all covered up. Skating it here is McNamney. Left side, dragging it into the zone. There is Ensign. And he's checked up high there by Sullivan in the far corner. Team scramble away. It'll kick free. Halliday fighting for the puck. He's got his stick all tried up. Tried to pull it off the wall. Couldn't. Holderness holds and Bunting pushes it in. That's Sullivan working over his man down low. Jake Waterman beneath the goal line, helping out in low is Bunting. He's going to move up to the half wall. D-to-D pass. Rose on the right circle. Rose gets around Orrin. He's going to come in here, load the goal line in front, and making another good stop with Barron off of Tanner Ensign, the assistant captain, positioned in the blue paint. Holderness is penetrating that doorstep in front of Andy Barron here this period. That's the second or third opportunity they had. here in the first 4 minutes of this second period. Stoppage here on the play. 13-5. Yeah, 4 minutes in the second period. St. Paul's up 2-0, but some good opportunities. For Holderness trying to get on the board in this one. Last year, these two teams played twice, once at the Tabor Invitational and once at Holderness, the annual meeting. They just happened to play each other based on results of the Tabor tournament. And the Bulls did not score a goal. They lost 4-0 in Marion and 3-0 in Plymouth. So, still looking to snap a goal drought here against St. Paul's. Skipped away from Flinton there into the corner. They started the period on the power play and worked some momentum out of it, although St. Paul's has it now. Good read there at center by Joe Biddle. He got knocked down, though, getting aroused out of the Holderness bench, just looping back his Statheimer in front of the scorer's bench. He's hit upended in front of the St. Paul's bench by Pitts. Moving the other way are the Bulls. Into the zone goes Sebastian Gingras. Sweet's momentum, I think, took him into the wall there. He kind of checked himself, although there were some Holderness players in the vicinity. There's Bryson Russell. The different D pairs tonight for St. Paul's have looked pretty good, all things considered. And all things considered is that they've had the same, 3 pairs or 4 pairs, I should say, for the entire year. And they changed the top 2 and without pretty much they've changed the top 2 with seamless transition, we'll put it that way. McElhaney had it skip away from him. It comes to the left post, and picking it up there is Carter Rose. Rose taking a look around. The stretch pass through center, and it'll go all the way down for Andy Barron to play. Lingering between the blue lines is Sebastian Gingras, and it just skipped away from him. Now they're in the ozone. Going to the front of the net there is Pitts, and his backhander goes to the far wall. We're pinching in his Rose. Here's Pitts near side, lays it back to the line. Fox a drive, and that might have hit off of Horn and went to the corner. I think it was going to miss right anyways. Making it up next to 12-18 on the clock, and it's 2-0 St. Paul's here in the second. The bounce pass, and it's James Orr left side, show the backhander, and gets laid by Fox, who's on top of him, and pushing and shoving on the blue line. Isaiah Fox continues to mix it up, legally or illegally here in this one. Icing against Holderness.
Him and Julian.
Yeah, when Fox has been on the ice, the tensions have certainly been running high, and maybe that's a coincidence, but most likely not. I don't often question hits and physical plays either. I think that the referees are pretty reliable in that right. In terms of high hitting. Orn saw that coming from Fox, and I think that's why he ducked down and, avoided it, I suppose. I think it was a good thing, too. Fox was coming at him. He was hunting. Menace slips it in. It's gloved down by Gagnon. Havoc created. Menace along the goal line with a shot. Rebound saved. Jabbed out by Simpson. And it's swatted wide of the near post. Menace picks it up again. That was Halliday who touched it off for Julian Menace. He's got it once more. Menace, right side. And tipped away from him by Fox. And here he comes. The Holderness fans are cheering as Fox bears down on Barron. And he's stoned by Andy Barron. Ladies and gentlemen. And look at this. It's Simpson the other way. Eric Simpson straight to the front of the net. And a great play there by Carter Rose to knock the puck away from him. As a play blown dead and a penalty upcoming down to our left. A cross-checking minor going to come up to Holderness as they were moving through center. Something in the vicinity of Kevin Pitts. I think he was all tied up with JT Halliday down to our left. And maybe Eric Simpson as well. He's not going to go off. It'll be Carter Rose taking a cross-checking minor. Again, as usual, couldn't tell you where it was. Had to be somewhere behind the play. I didn't see it. But a great opportunity at one end for Isaiah Fox, who has been hot of late. And I mean red hot. In the last 3 games, Isaiah Fox has 8 points. 6 of them are goals, including a hat trick versus Tilton and a 2-goal outing versus Winchendon. And he was coming in on Andy Barrett and had him deked out too. But a great stretch by the St. Paul's goaltender to shut the door. Fox just couldn't elevate it on over him. And we remain at 2-0. That was a stud stop, ladies and gentlemen. And there's no other way to say it. St. Paul's now on the power play. It's been a game of power plays. Who's going to be better? It's been St. Paul's so far. Is moving it in front there with Sacklad. He took his man down, and it's still jousting. Holding the stick of Sacklad is Tanner Ensign. And this has a chance to get ugly. There's a bit of pushing and shoving. Coming out is Androlowitz as well. And getting Sacklad in a stranglehold was Biddle. Sacklad was tied up with Ensign in the crease, and Tanner Ensign held onto the stick of John Sacklad. Sacklad's got to make sure he doesn't take an additional penalty. I don't know what they're giving John Sacklad here. They initially called, it couldn't have been something after the play too, which is going on. You can't see, it's off camera right now, but Sacklad and Ensign are exchanging words. I don't know what they're giving Sacklad on the initial play. As he was having his stick held, they initially called 2 penalties, and those are the 2 penalties that are occurring. I just don't know what you would give Sacklad on the play. Maybe he retaliated before. I think that's what happened. He kind of pushed inside of the crease. These won't be offsetting either. This will be a 4-on-3, maybe power play for St. Paul's. They got both the penalties on the board. Maybe they will be offsetting. So, in the box for a cross check is Carter Rose. In the box for a holding the stick minor is Tanner Ensign. Those are the penalties for Holderness. And Sacklad in the box for St. Paul's as well. They might be giving majors here. Sacklad is taken off the board. And now they've taken Rose's penalty. We know for sure Rose's penalty is going to prevail, as his did not have to do with that scrum. And Sacklad moved in front of the net trying to jam it home, and melee followed. And now it took Sacklad's up. Now they got to get Rose's back on, and then I'm assuming they have to take Tanner Ensign's penalty off as well. They will be offsetting minors, I'm assuming, that if they're not going to go up on the board. And they're just going to leave this, maybe, and give St. Paul's this should be at least a 5-on. What is going on? Now they've taken all the penalties off the board, and we're underway. It's a power play for St. Paul's for, I'm assuming, about 1 minute and 38 seconds was when the clock stopped. So nothing really becomes out of that. We'll see how long Sacklad and his counterpart Ensign sits. And that'll be on our watch, not on the scoreboard. There's a Simpson tries deflected in front of him. Howdy! He stops at it, but it's stuffed by Androlowitz at the top of the paint, and there's still a bit of chatter going on. Holderness holding strong in front of the nets. Packed house here at Gordon. Probably the best attendance game so far this season. Exeter and Vermont Academy also drew some good crowds. But plenty of parents in the house from Holderness and St. Paul's alike. As I mentioned, Holderness only 30 minutes away here from Gordon. Look out here. It's McElhinney stepping into a shot, and it's into the glove of Androlowitz, hanging around like hanging around in front of the net. Being a bit of a pain there is JT Halliday, and he gets a swat from Androlowitz as a result. They're going to draw that rebound home. St. Paul's still on the power play. Again, a question mark as to how long. Here's Simpson, moves it in front, and it was Halliday that was there, but it bounced away from him. I don't think he saw it coming. Nice move by Russell. He's going to come in along the ice, tied up in the slot. Now it'll kick loose. Halliday up top. McElhinney holding. It's a slap pass back door, and Simpson couldn't get his stick on it. Holderness will shoot it the other way. Barron will touch it aside, and it's moved to Eric Simpson. St. Paul's will break out again. Penalty might be almost over. It seems like this has been much more than 2 minutes. Carter Rose in the box for the cross check, but he remains in there. Across the line onside is Simpson. Interesting. Here's Menace in the slot. Missed to go wide. That was for the hat trick, his third hat trick of the season, and he just missed it. He's had his opportunities too. Certainly looking good, Julian Jimenez. Howday is held on to, but he still digs it free on the wall, reversing it for Menez. Just got away from him. I don't think he saw that play coming from Howday. It'll go up the right side for Dumas, but it got right between his legs and out. Here's Dumas coming in. Oh, changing on the play was St. Paul's and an offside called. So Rose is out of the box now. So we're back to 5 aside. Sacklad and Ensign still sitting. 9:01 on the clock, and it's still 2-0 on the two Julian and Menez goals. Isaiah Fox got to get off the ice there, folks. We're all set to go, and Fox was taking his dandy time coming off. I will say, that is a pet peeve of mine. I have nothing against Isaiah Fox. I have nothing against Holderness. And I'm sure if you head somewhere. Now they're targeting us. In the Thayer game, I don't know how many of you tuned in for that one, but a continuous remark of mine was how slow the teams took while changing. I'm just not one of those people. If everyone else is on the ice and set to go, like, you got to get off, because at that point they're just waiting for you, and I think that was the case with Isaiah Fox. I'm ripping on them a little bit, probably for just a little thing, but I'm a pet peevey person. Flinton tried to center it, went off the center, maybe off the pad of Vedrala, but I'm a pet peevey person. I have a lot of those little kinks. Yeah. It just doesn't, whatever. Back out to center, it stood up there as Lehouillier. Flinton shoots it in, taken aback by Rose. He escapes without being punished, I suppose, for his penalty, although he's in the box. Besides that, nothing much. Boulanger was flying down the middle of the ice there. Dumas got his stick in, jousted with him, and probably kept him from going to the net even quicker. You see the scoreboard there in the screen below the rafters. Below the scoreboard is the ice sheet, and that's where we'll do this draw to the left of Andy Barron. Scoreboard reads 2-0. Still no goals in this period, but a consistently fast pace throughout in this one. In front of a jam-packed house, students, parents alike, all here in attendance today. I like it when I don't see a lot of bleacher when I look to my left, and especially my right. Nobody likes to sit in the bleachers over to the right for some reason. But not a lot of silver. Not a lot of bleacher. And that's always good to see. Of course, I mentioned good daytime crowd. There's obviously Andover had a ton of people here. You can see this the fundraiser game. In the night game for this one, set out in front here. It's going to come out the back door, and picking it up is Menez. He kind of flips it and kicks it and sends Halliday through center. It's going to go in on goal, and Ondralowicz will gobble it up. Menez was coming to the net too. It was skipping out for McNabney, and he saw that Menez was posing a threat, so instead of going forward and challenging Menez on the play, he decided to back up, which I think was the smart thing to do. Green, Sacklad, Orn line on the ice to oppose Fox, Pitts, and Manning. Off the draw, puck to the corner, they battle away, and here is John Sacklad in below the goal line. He'll cam up and then drop it back, but right onto the stick of Kevin Pitts. It's not worked out, though. Now through center. Isaiah Fox will get up there to negate the icing. 7:15 to go. The drop pass for Pitts somehow caught him on his backhand. Making a digger in the right corner there was Manning, and somehow that play dissolves for Holderness, and back with it is Bryson Russell now. The left side pass, and it's between the legs of James Orn there, trying to knock it in. Green further, and Sacklad will chase. Here's John Sacklad, bottom of the left circle. The sharp angle shot skipped off the leg of Garrison Gagnon, and out the left side. Clearing it there was Manning. Harrison Sweet standing up as torn down is Fox. He got tied up with Russell, and they're both regaining their feet now. Fox had to come out of the zone before he could play that puck as well. Holderness fans to our right calling for a penalty there on the play, and I think it was just a 50-50 tie-up. I didn't really see it, though, to be fair, so it might be right. Certainly, it was right in front of him, so... Calling for the puck in front of the net there was Owen Sacklad, all tied up, couldn't get it to him. Good D by Holderness, cleared to center there by Fox. Drew pitches it on the backhand, but a good kick there by McNamney, and he'll now fling one up and the other way. Pitts doesn't like the call coming down the middle of the ice. He thinks he was in the play enough for that not to be icing, but referees disagree, and it's whistled dead. Face-off will come down here in the Holderness end, and 6:12 on the clock. There's Bussey off the draw. Riley Drew deflected backdoor. Bussey will round the net to the far side. Flynn is with him. Cooper Flynn to the line. Levine just inside. It's Drew with a shot and a big block by Fox. But back for it is Alex Levine to keep Fox from going the other way. Here's Flynn now stepping in left side. Cooper Flynn driving through, and he'll go straight into the net, but the puck stays out and he collides with Androlowicz. Cooper Flynn just trying to take the puck to the net, and just as he was about to get there, it was knocked away from him, and his momentum carried him right into Connor Androlowicz. Two big guys in a big collision there in the crease. Looks like everyone is okay, which is good news on both sides. St. Paul's was coming out in front there. Good play. Good on the referees to blow that one dead. 5:47 the line of Stadheim, Flinton, and Bussey stay out there. I'm not sure who stopped Flinton from going to the net, but a good defensive work by him. Not only to not take a penalty. Hold on a moment. Here comes Favreau through center ice and around Drew into the corner. Ooh! Drew leaves his feet and goes into the midsection there. The Gingras is just not a pretty looking collision. Here comes Flinton once more. But yes, good job by that Holderness player not to take a penalty and to body Flinton out for the middle of the ice as he was coming in, and that wouldn't have been good as he came to the front of the net. Bussey's now in the middle of the ice. Stadheim. Bussey actually switches places with Stadheim as it comes towards the front of the ice on the stick of in front of the net, I should say. Stadheim was all tied up in front. No penalty called on that. Good work by Flinton to hold the line. This line of Bussey, Flinton, and Stadheim certainly has played a good game as well tonight. Barron taking no chances there with Gingras in front of the net. Still waiting our second period goal. They've got two already on the board, and both of them belong to Julian Menes, who hops over the boards now with the rest of his line mates, Simpson and Howday. Joe Deere and Sullivan on the defensive pairings as the full five change for St. Paul's. The opponent line is Bunting, Ensign, and I didn't catch the right winger there. I think it might have been Waterman. Yes, it is Waterman who's out of the back check as Menes comes through center. Going to the front of the net there is Simpson, but taking it now is Carter Rose. Rose, a nice move to the outside. It'll fling it this way. Moving in is Paxton Bunting across the line. Bunting, he's centered in front. It was bouncing there. Went off a stick. There's a penalty upcoming, and it's going to go against Holderness. The amount of offensive zone penalties in this game is almost embarrassing. Good reverse. Here's Simpson. Floats one through. Score! We'll see if this one counts. I think it's gonna. Menes went hard to the net. He might have got a stick on it too. I don't know if he took Androlowicz out of the play or what. If he didn't, it's gonna count and it might be his. It is his. And we got a hat on the ice down to our left. Referee's talking it over at center. Ensign's gonna go to the box here no matter what, but we'll see if it counts. I'm not quite sure about it. I might not be the only one in the building questioning this right now. Tanner Ensign's going to take a seat, and it is going to count, I think. Yep. It's the third of the game, and St. Paul's third of the game. And the Big Red lead it 3-0. It certainly took a redirection, and I can't definitively give it to him. but why not? Menace the goal. St. Paul's the lead and the power play, although they ice the puck here. 3-0. And JT Halliday, you got to hand it to him. He'll pick up an assist there. Creative looking play from the middle of the ice by him. He picked up Simpson coming in on the back door and dropped it off to him. And although Simpson can wire it, he didn't really. Just kind of sauced it through the air. He knew Menace was going to go to the front of the net, and changing the direction would help, and it certainly did. St. Paul's gets on the board. That's a 6-on-5 goal, I suppose, for the Big Red. I think, although I don't know if Barron went to the bench for that. We'll have to go back and look at that one. Good crisp pass from Simpson to Menace, and they get set up. Halliday in behind the goal, getting there first instead, is gagged into the line. It goes off the leg of McElhinney, I apologize, and out. 3:30 to go in the period, 1:17 to go, and it gets knocked away from Julian Menace once more, so I'd have to do some addition here, but I think it's worth it. Maybe I'm not going to do the addition. I can get that stat in between periods as Menace comes in again. It bounces up off the side of the goal. That's his something around 28th career goal, maybe more than that. Not sure what Holderness was calling for a penalty for there. I didn't catch it. I was a little caught in my addition scheme. Nothing was called, but they were none too pleased about it. Coming down is Sacklad, 30 seconds left to go, and the Bulls will send it the other way. 2 minutes to go in the period, and Max Dumas back. He's jammed in there by Kevin Pitts, who used his shoulder a bit too, I think. He's now tussling with Dumas, and they're still going at it just a bit as it skips away from James Orm and deep into the zone. Orn going into a battle with Joe Biddle, who played well in the first period for Holderness. As the second period is just about to conclude, I don't think he's had a good a second period. He'll make a nice pass over here to his defensive partner, Carter Rose, dropping it off. It's Isaiah Falk back for Rose. He gives it to the middle on a single Pitts, and the shot was blocked. I think it was either Barron or Sullivan coming across. I think it might have been Sullivan because St. Paul's touches his puck and a hand pass is going to be called. And if it was the goaltender, that wouldn't have been the case. Holderness is going to get an ozone draw out of it, and their fans are trying to pump them up over to our right. Still awaiting their first goal of the hockey game. Yes, and it's going to be another offensive zone. I was just about to talk about it, too. Fox unhappy. He swats it away. Embarrassing, the amount of offensive zone penalties. And this is Holderness' second of the period. I think this might have been their third or fourth of the game. They've taken something like, it took 2 in the first. One of them was in the D zone. One of them was in the offensive zone. 2 of them here in this period. This is their third penalty of the period, I think. So something like 3 or 4 offensive zone penalties for Holderness. And it's just... offensive zone penalties are ripped on a lot because they're unnecessary. You know, you're not preventing a goal by taking a penalty, so why take one? And that one was just a tie-up off the draw. I don't want to say it's embarrassing. That might be too strong a word. I can get scolded for that. But certainly if you're Coach Alan Thompson on the Holderness bench, you can't like that. And you given the St. Paul's team who can score an opportunity. Here's Flynn bearing down with a wrister. The rebound kicks wide off the blocker of Androlowicz from Russell. Up top, here's Cooper Flynn. Right face-off circle to the point. McElhinney loads and fires, and the head of his stick goes shattering into the corner. He'll just step off. St. Paul's holds it in, but not for long. Flynn, a good job to steal it away from Waterman as it was coming out of the zone. Here he is again. Cooper Flynn holding and firing along the ice. It'll go over to the far side. Owen Stadheim upended in low by Biddle. Cleared to the line. Good keep by Guillaume Gier. Athletic 1-2. He went down and held it in with his glove. Right across the Guillaume Gier far side. Stadheim, 49 seconds left to go in the power play. Good saucer from Stadheim, receiving it well. It's Guillaume Gier left side to the front of the net. One off a stick. Reversing is Bussy. 38 seconds to go in the period and 38 in the penalty too. So there you go. All zeros literally when the clock expires. Guillaume Deere, 29 seconds, receiving from Bussy and then giving to Bussy. Bussy into the middle. It's Flynn standing. Look at this passing. They moved it across the middle. It kicked away from Androlowitz. 20 seconds to go. Good puck movement by St. Paul's. Bouncing around. Bussy and Guillaume Deere can't coordinate. And they're back out to center. 12 seconds. St. Paul's changing. Here's Flynn across the blue. Cooper Flynn trying to move it to the middle of the ice. Put it between the legs of Rose. This looks like it's going to do it. All tied up on the wall. So Menace adds one more. 1 second of power play time completely for St. Paul's. When we come back for the third period, they're up by 3, and all of them belong to Menace. 3-0 to score. St. Paul's over Holderness. The final period of the regular season after the break.